Hey, what's up, guys? So the purpose of that intro is tonight I'm finally going to make my tongue bite video, or at least the first part of one. I don't know how long I'll ramble on about it, but hopefully not before the sun goes down tonight. It's a nice night out tonight. It's kind of cooled off a bit here. It might be down to 80. Hopefully you can hear me all right. There's also lots of locusts and cicada making noise. But let's get straight to the topic. So, tongue bite. I wouldn't say I'm an expert on it by any means, but I've learned a few things, so I want to try to share that with you and maybe try to help us avoid it, and if we get it, try to help us recover from that. So, first off, let's get one thing straight. Of course, it's very obvious, and I don't think anybody would disagree that if you puff too hard and get the tobacco burning too hot, then that's going to cause a problem, and you're going to get burned. You're going to get a tongue bite, and that would be what I would call a physical burn. That would be as if you were taking a match to your tongue or a lighter to your tongue, and I don't think anybody would disagree with that. I don't know if we've all experienced that, but I know I have. It just comes from puffing too fast, and whether you're not paying attention, or if maybe it's your first time smoking it, or maybe it's because it was an aromatic, or a Virginia, or something that burns a little bit hotter and you puffed a little bit faster. So that's clear. So now that I get that out of the way, I do want to light up. So I'm smoking Frogmorton on the Bayou tonight. Just sounded good in my Corsica pipe. Hopefully you can see this alright. It's kind of a bent ball shape. I don't know how to describe it, but I don't smoke this very often. I have not heard of Corsicas. I got this in a lot with a few other pipes, and it's in really good condition. I had to do very little to clean it up. But it's Corsica, spelled C-O-R-S-I-K-A. So if anybody's heard of that or has a Corsica pipe, let me know what you know. Okay, so tongue bite. You know it can be caused by puffing too hard. That's the physical burn. But on the other side, there is a chemical burn. And chemical burns do have to do with what is in the tobacco. What's more important is what's in the tobacco smoke. And it does have to do with your body chemistry, which I know that's a kind of a buzzword that's thrown around with tongue bites. Body chemistry, what the heck does that mean? Well, what that means is that we all have different chemical makeups in our mouth and in our saliva, and different physical makeups. For instance, our tongue is covered with taste buds. It's the top of our tongue that we usually get tongue bite on. And those taste buds are filled with different, or are covered with these taste receptors that kind of look like these. If you look at them really close, they kind of look like kind of a tower that is wide at the base and then thins up at the top. Those are called papillae. Papillae. What a fun word to say, papillae. Anyway, those are our taste buds, and those are the areas that are getting irritated by a physical burn or a chemical burn that we call tongue bite. And how that's going to be affected is by the body chemistry has to do with the saliva in the mouth. A key component of that is the pH of our saliva. Regular body pH is 7.4. If you've taken any biology recently, that's probably something that was hammered into you. And your body pH is buffered at that pH, which means it's kept at that pH by quite a few different chemical buffers. And if you want to know more about the chemical side of this, well, PM me. I'd be happy to explain it, but I don't really want to do that fully in this video. So, time out just a second. I want to show you the sunset here. It's pretty cool. Hopefully you can see that. It might be lost in the video. It may just look like light, but anyway. The pH is normally 7.4. However, some people's pH can tend to be more acidic or more basic. So more acidic would be lower, maybe the upper 6s, and more basic would be higher, maybe close to 8. And that's going to affect how different tobaccos are going to bother your tongue. For instance, you have something like Virginias, which you usually smoke at a pH of down about 4.5, very acidic. That's why they are, a lot of times are given kind of a fruity reference or a citrusy reference. Those are all acidic fruits, so that's not too strange. While on the other hand, something like Latakia has a pH closer to 8 or 8.5. So that's quite a wide range. And if you're more interested in what pH means and all of that, PM me too. I'd be glad to explain it. But this is a pipe smoking channel, not a chemistry channel. So what it really comes down to is the pH of the pipe smoke, the pH of your saliva and your mouth. Those are two key components. Additionally to that is what contaminants might be in the smoke, and that's gonna be different from blender to blender. And I can't say for sure that I would know all the things that might irritate you that don't irritate me. So I guess, long story short, tongue bite may not always be completely avoidable. I can tell you that if you suffer tongue bite from a particular blend and you know it wasn't because you're puffing too fast, it's likely that you're going to get tongue bite again from that blend. It's not always going to happen, but it's likely. And there's probably things you can do to try to avoid that. Drink quite a bit of water, or at least rinse your mouth out with quite a bit of water before you smoke. That might assist in kind of trying to bring your mouth chemistry to a more happy neutral level of around 7, which would hopefully keep the pipe smoke from affecting it too much. But there's other things you can do too, which is avoid that blend if it bothers you. And it's not always as simple as, oh well, Virginias are more acidic, so I'm going to avoid those. I can tell you that a lot of the times that people complain about Virginias or even Burleys biting more than Latakia or English blends is because Latakias do burn a little bit cooler, and that has to do with how they're cured. And that's going to be a separate video, is talking just a little bit about curing, because I'm sure I'm way too long already here. But, so let's talk real quick about what to do if you do get tongue bite. What are some things you can do? Well, like I said before, tongue bite is either a physical burn or a chemical burn, which causes an irritation on the tongue. Well, what do you do for any burn? You run cold water over it, and that's not any different here. Drinking lots of water, rinsing with a lot of water can really assist in alleviating that tongue bite. There's not going to be one mouthwash or super concoction that's going to work for everybody that's going to help. But think about things that you would do for a sore throat. That's an irritation in your throat, again in the oral area. Some people's citrus juices really work well for them. Other people, it completely turns it around and makes it feel a whole lot worse. Things like honey or honey and tea really help people. That's really soothing. Those are the things that I would suggest. Even coffee, if it's not so hot that it's going to be disturbing the burn, but it can be soothing. Excuse me. Those are things to try, what I would recommend. Check the time. Oh, holy smokes. Well, I'm over 10 minutes, so I'm going to stop it here, guys. But we'll come back in just a second with the curing video. I'll do that next. So we'll see you in a little bit.